Hello guys, so welcome back. In the last video tutorial we were able to post into our Firebase, okay, and then we tried fetching from the database, and then I was having a problem with my phone, so I have to I mean continue in this video tutorial. So in this video tutorial we're going to continue. We wanted to print the value, okay, what we were receiving from the Firebase and see, but then we did that in the browser, okay, and then we saw the data that was returned, and the data that is being returned here is a map, and then you can see that the map has a key, which is the ID, okay, and then this ID has a map inside it, okay, just like that. So it's like nested map, let me say it that way. So when we come here, we are having some previous code here where we were fetching from the PHP, okay, but this time we are going to use the Firebase as I said before. So we just change the URL to the Firebase endpoint that we have, and we did this. But then we were also fetching, the data. We're decoding the data. That's okay. But then previously PHP we fetched a list, and this time we are not fetching a list because if you look at the data here, it's not a list. It's a map, or let's say nested map. So what I'm going to do here is to change this to map, okay, map, because okay, let me just show you what will if we have a list here. Let me show you the error that will okay. Let's save and then check from here. Let's see. Okay, so now you see we will have an error which is saying map string dynamic is not acceptable for less dynamic, okay, so that's why we have to change it to the map. So that's what we are receiving, okay, and when we do this and then we try to print, we should get the data. Okay, let's save and see. So let's see if you're getting the data. Let's reload the whole thing so we see if you're getting the data. Okay, it's reloaded. Yeah, so now you see we are getting the same data as we get in the browser here. Okay, so now how do we fetch this, okay, and then save it inside our list? Because you know that we are not going to manipulate data, okay, we're not going to manipulate the data directly on our database. We save it in a list and then we work with the data from the list, okay, so we have to find a way to save it in the list. So to do this, I think I'll keep this code for now, but then we have to loop through. Okay, let me just delete it for so that I start the whole thing again. So to do this, we have to loop through this fetch data, okay, because of course it's coming as a map, but we can go inside and say fetch data, okay, dot for each, and inside we can do something. Let's check the data that we are fetching. We have this ID, we have a map, okay, and this map has a key which is the name or the ID of our food item, and this ID is also having um a map inside. So to do this, I think we have to fetch one for the ID, okay. Let me just make it name, okay, ID makes sense, and then we have to dynamically assign dynamic, okay, and then let's say food data, okay. So this is standing for the key here, okay, and then the product data is standing for this map here, okay, you get my point. So inside, as we are fetching or as we are looping through the list of items that we get from the database, we can now go ahead and create food, let's say food let's say food item. We can create the object here, okay, inside our for each loop, and inside here now we can assign the ID to this ID that we are getting, okay, and then we put it here, and then we can also do the rest. Let's say name is food data, and this time, because it's a map, we have to use the key. So when we come here, what's the name? The name is title, and then we have category, we have description. So we have to use this key to actually get the value from the data returned from the database. Okay, so we go ahead and do title, and then we have description. Okay, and then we can, description, and then we have category. Okay, food data category. Okay. And then we have what again? I think price and discount. Okay, so price and discount, sorry, price, so food data. I hope you are getting what I'm doing here, because discount and then food data, and we can go to discount. So these are keys, which is it should match exactly what you are receiving, okay, from the database. If it doesn't match, you get an error. Okay, so now we have this inside. We've created the food item, okay, but you can see that we are having more than one item here. So as we are looping, we will get a lot of data. So let's create a list. Okay, let's say final list of food. Okay, let's say food items. Okay, and let's make it an empty array. So as we loop through our data from the database, we can now go ahead and add it to these food items. Okay, but add the food item. I hope you are getting what I'm doing here, because we create the object here. So after creating, we add it to this empty list. Okay, so now when everything is done inside the for each loop, we can now come outside and then assign this food item list, okay, to this list that we have here. Get my point? So let's just do that. So we can now go ahead and say foods should now have food items, and then this works fine. Okay, so we can save it and let's try and see something. Let me check what we are trying to do. Let me print foods. Okay, print foods here. Okay, and then let me check if I have a print statement. I'm taking these ones out. Yes. Okay, so let me check from here. Okay. So when I switch between this, I want to see the data being fetched, and I'm not seeing anything like that. So let me just reload the application again. Okay, let's see if you're going to get the list of food items. Okay, so I'm getting the list, which instant of food like 3 times. So when you check, we have 3 values here. Okay, when you check the database itself, you have 1, 2, 3 here, and then that's okay. So now we have to display that in our explore page. Okay, because here in the home page we are only going to don't worry about the error. In the home page we are only going to work with frequently bought food, so we are not going to display all the food items in our database here, but then we are going to display all the food items here rather. Okay, so we have to bring the data here and then now work with the data here. Okay, in a list. So I think I'll just go into, and it's this page. Okay, so here we'll change the name of the file, don't worry, later. So let me see what we did. We created a column here, and then has children, we have all food items, that's okay. And then this is the card, okay, for the food item. So I think I'll make this card. I'm going to make this card a widget. Okay, let's say. Sorry, I'm going to make it a widget. Let me just come into the widget folder and then create this and say food item card that, and then create my stateless widget. Yeah. And then inside here I can create my stateless widget and food item card. Okay, and then paste this code here. Okay, let's see the errors I'm getting. This one we have to import it. Okay, and okay, so we have all errors gone. So for now I'm just going to keep the values inside. Okay, so now when I come here now, I can now go ahead and use the food item card. Okay, so with this one here, when I save I should get the same design. Okay, it's still there. So what do you want to do? We want to make this one a list, and to do that we want to use a list here, but then to do that we have this container, we have this column here. We want to fetch from our database and then use it here. So just looking for something, a better way to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this code and then bring the scope model descendant here. Scope model descendant. Okay, because we want to get access to the fetch. Okay, and then inside here we use our builder, and then this will have the build context, and we I have an error. Build context, and this will be context, and widget child, and main model I think. And now why is this thing an error? Okay, it's not inside. So now we can go ahead with main model here. It's okay, it's fine, because this is a generic type. You can pass in the type of model we are using, and then we have to return the code that we copied from there. So now we can have access to our model, and then we can have access to this fetch method. Okay, so when this code is called, we want to fetch, okay, the food items. Okay, so we can say, we can decide to call model.fetch here, fetch foods here, but I'm also thinking of doing it this way. Let's see. Okay, let's put it for now, because there's something that will happen when we try to do this, but I think it's okay for now. Okay, and now we can also go ahead and create list of food. Okay, food inside here. Sorry, food, I want to just import it. Food, and say foods here, and then we can access the food, and I think we are supposed to we are supposed to have inside our model, we are supposed to have get foods. Okay, so model.foods. Yeah, now we have this. So for now we can instead of the children here, now I'm just going to cut this code here. Okay, and then go ahead and say foods dot map here, and then with this map here I can go ahead and then return the design that I want. So here we are accepting food here, so we are accepting each food here, and then the card is what? Food item card. Okay, so this is what we are returning, and then we are getting an error because when you use this food, okay, this food is the list that we are receiving, and then when we do that here, we are trying to assign it to these children, and the children of a column requires what? A list of what? of widget, and this is what a map here. So after doing this, we have to change this to a list, so to list, and I think the error should go. And then let's see what we get. So you see we get 3 items here. Okay, 3 items here. We lost our title here. We was saying all food items. That's okay, we'll put it there later. So we have these food items here, and now we can, because of this card, we can make it dynamic. Okay, so let's see what we need. We need the image to be different. We need this one also to be different, everything to be different here. So let's quickly do that. Let me go into my let's go into the food item here. Let's specify the things that we need. We want final string. We want the food. Let me just make a title. We also want the price. We also want the description. We also want the discount or the category. Yeah, I'll bring the discount after here. String discount. Okay, and then when we come here, we are going to change. For now, we are not working with the image here yet. Okay, so for now we will keep the image as the same, but then when we come here, we are using the, what is it, here, the text here, we are going to put the title there. Okay, and where we have, where's the description? So here's the description. We can now go ahead and put the description here, and then with this one we can also put the price here. So I'm just going to put the price here. So we don't have the discount, so I think we don't put the discount here, so let's just ignore the discount for now. So maybe later we'll find a design, maybe we put a discount here, but we'll put something to show that there's a discount on it. Okay, so let's ignore that one for now. So we are not even using the category on the card here, so I think these three is okay. This and that. Okay, so after doing this, we have to accept it through the constructor. So we can just go ahead, and this is the type description, and this is the price. Okay, so I think that's okay. So now you can see we are having an error here because we have to pass those values inside. So we know it starts with the title. So the title, we know we have access to this food, so we can go ahead and say food dot title here. Title, yeah, okay, why sorry, food dot name. And we have to change this thing because it's just confusing where we have name inside the model here. We have name inside the model here, but then we are using title somewhere else. So food name, and then we also need the description, right? Food description, and we need food dot price. Okay, so let's see what we are seeing. The price is double here. Okay, so we can just change this to string, and that is okay. So let's save what we get. Let's reload the whole thing and see if we get an error. Okay, let me go to the explore page. So now we can see we are having this rise, this the values here. So let's see what happens if I go into my database here and then change one of the name to, let's say, something, and then hit enter. Let's see if it changed on our screen. It doesn't change because this is now real time at the moment. We are going to do that, but then when I reload the whole thing, I think I should see the change. I'm still not seeing the change. Let me just reload the thing again and see something. Okay, when I come here again. Okay, so I see something here, it changes, but we will make this real time. Okay, when we get to the point that we have to make it real time, we will make it real time, and then if anything should just change in the database, it will just change here. Okay, so for now we've been able to fetch from the database and we know how it works, and we know that we have our items here now, but then we lost our um, title here, and that is okay. We are going to fix that. And yeah, so I will leave this tutorial here. So in the next tutorial, I think we are going to work on this page, add the title there, and also try to make this real time. Okay, so that anything that changes inside the database, I was expecting this to change. Let me just go ahead and do something. Let's see. The store doesn't change. Anyway, that's fine. That's fine. We will change it and make it real time. Okay. Okay, so I'll end the video here. Please try to like the videos. Okay, if you like them, just like them. Okay, on the on YouTube, and also if you can, you should subscribe to the channel so that whenever I release the videos, you can get access to them. Also, you can share with your friends. Okay, you can recommend the videos to your friends. Okay, thank you for supporting me. Okay. I'll see you in the next video tutorial.